Yo, what up? It's Don.
Family here.
We are the Soul Brothers. Live from your inbox, your notification feed. Much love to y'all. We appreciate the support. Let's hop into a Does It Still basketball.
Yes.
This is one of the most legendary basketball shoes ever.
Yes.
This is the start of the Hyperdunk.
Yes.
It's the beginning of the Hyperdunk. Okay, so we got an outlet right near us, a Nike outlet. We were bopping around in there. They had these for $34.
Yes.
$35.
Nice. I should have caught.
Yeah, you should have. But they also had an all white and an all red.
I should have done the all white.
Yeah.
Those are sick.
And so I went ahead and got a pair. And I'm going to give you my performance review. Does it still basketball?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with the traction. The traction is decent. It does pick up quite a bit of dust. We hate to have to keep talking about dust, but I know a lot of you people play on dusty courts like we do. You know what I mean? We're not on a pristine court. We're at a 24-hour fitness, you know, with the regular civilians. So traction on a dusty court is not great. You're going to be wiping a lot, and even when you do wipe, the bite isn't nuts. Not like near the standard of like today's top performers like the Kyrie 3. Nowhere near that, but it's definitely not bad. So traction, I'd give like a 7.
7?
Yeah, give it a 7.
And outdoor use should be okay.
Outdoor use should be good. Yeah, it's very, very hard rubber, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so first of all, let me say this also. This is not the OG. There's an OG colorway, which is the white with some of the blue on it, and that has some different tech in it. This one is a little more bare bones. It's more for looks, I guess. But so as I proceed, let's step into the cushion. The cushion is...
What is the cushion?
It's probably just
it's
like a
foam.
polyurethane.
It's a foam, but
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
a
what
foam.
it is.
And it's got a little squish to it. Nothing crazy. It's definitely nowhere near a lunar lawn. But so, okay, the cushion is, you get a good amount of court feel and you feel pretty low to the ground. You get a little bit of impact protection. You know, like I went back and forth from this to the Kyrie 3 and it's better than the Kyrie 3. You know, which isn't saying much.
Yeah.
I know. So
Exactly.
cushion, you know, it's very responsive. So, you know, that brings it up a little bit. So I don't know, I'd give it depends on what you like. But for me, as far as what I like, I'd give it like a 7, 8 maybe tops.
Impact protection, how's that though?
Decent.
Decent?
Not horrendous. Decent.
I would feel like it's horrible.
It's not horrible. I mean, I've had worse. It's definitely not great.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not great. But I can feel the compression a little bit in the heel, and even a little bit in the forefoot. Okay, so moving on to the upper. This is kind of where one of my gripes of this shoe. This shit is despicable. I'm done with this type of shit. I'm glad we moved on from this. This is just like a full fuse panel upper. Full synthetic. A bunch of synthetic leather in the toe. I mean, when you're walking, it's literally... You hear that? I don't rock with that. When you're walking, that's what it's doing. Okay, it'll break in. Okay, it takes a while to break in. And, you know, but it's just a material that's just totally unnecessary at this point. It's very, very supportive. I'll give you that. But materials I don't love. But for looks, I guess it's chill. So which brings me into the next thing. We're gonna talk about fit. You know, the materials with the fit together, I mean, it's bad. The fit is good. It fits true to size lengthwise, but it's just real roomy. If you're a wide footer,
You see that
this is
scrunched
your
up right
joint.
here?
Yeah, you see that?
See that scrunched up right there?
And I got to crank it down even more. And I do have a narrow foot, but like, you know, I fit fine in a lot of shoes, most shoes. This shoe is just, I'm swimming in. So, you know, you could put an extra insole in. If you're a wide footer, you're probably going to like it. So I didn't really love that. And then there was a lot of pinching and abrasiveness in the upper, like around the ankle. You know, it just was like work to wear the shoe. It just felt like you always had something on your foot. I'm trying to adjust it. I'm trying to break it in more. And So as far as fit, I wasn't a huge fan. Support is great. Support is really good. It's a high and comes up pretty high. And of course, the materials are sturdy, so support is great. Lockdown is also good. I didn't have any lockdown problems, which is decent because there's not too much of an arch in the heel. So, but you're able to crank the laces down enough to really get a good lockdown, which is good. Now, ventilation, it's pretty hot.
There's no ventilation.
There's no ventilation.
Besides the tongue.
Besides the tongue, but that doesn't really do much, especially because I got to fucking crank it down. You know what I mean? I got to squeeze the hell out of it to get it. But yeah, so ventilation is not great. Durability, this shoe will last at least 40 or 50 years. Every day you can play in this on the black top nonstop. This shoe will not disintegrate. It's not biodegradable. Yeah, it's a tank, man. That's how they built these back then. They're just tanks. So, but I haven't had any problems. So, nothing to really talk about there. Let's weigh this sucker. Now, this is a big ass shoe. This is size 14, so this isn't like normal. This isn't even gonna be near what Sammy's shoes weigh. But I'm gonna go 15.
Damn,
So
that's really light.
Yeah, that's light.
For his shoes?
Yeah,
that's
for my
really
shoes,
light.
that's really light.
It's like your shoes are usually like what, 18?
Yeah.
17?
So it's not the lightest, but it's pretty
Really?
light.
It feels really light to me.
It is really light, and it feels light on foot. Really light. That's one of the strong points in the shoe, is the lightness and how light you feel on your feet, because it is really responsive cushion, and the lockdown is decent, so you feel pretty light on your feet. Except for the abrasiveness of the materials and stuff, that doesn't really help. Aesthetics.
I like it. I think it looks dope.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty dope. They're pretty dope. I never really loved the first Hyperdunks, but looking back on it now, it just looks kind of old school, and I definitely like it more now than when it first came out.
Yeah.
I was kind of hating. But yeah, and especially the all black colorway, for me, it's hard to go wrong. Okay.
Afterthoughts.
Let's wrap this up. Price, $34.
If you see this for maybe like $80 and under, what do you think? What would you recommend?
I would say get it, especially if you have a wide foot, or if you're just really into the silhouette. It's a dope little cop to have, and you rock these on the court, and like a real old school baller, a real sneakerhead is gonna see those and be like, oh, this fool's got the 08s. Like, that's kind of dope, because the Hyperdunks are such a prestigious shoe now. It's Nike's signature without a signature athlete. It's their signature basketball shoe, and this is the start of it, dude. And this was fucking, for back then, it's probably the best shoe in 08. I'm trying to think a lot of the other shoes. In 08, there wasn't a lot of like really sick stuff. This is one of the best, especially with the original tech. This doesn't even have all the original tech. So with that being said, if you can find these very cheap, these are on sale everywhere. They retroed these in a few different colorways, and they didn't sell shit. Nobody bought them. You know what I mean? So I swooped these up for $30, and I felt a little bad about it. They took an L on these hard. But there it is, 08 Hyperdunk. Does it still basketball? Absolutely.
Comparing it to now, how is it?
It's decent. It's decent. It can still, you can still ball on them, and it holds its own. There's obviously a bunch of shoes that are way better, but there's also shoes that are worse. Brand new shoes that are worse. So not too bad. It does still basketball. If you can get these on a deal, cop them. Full retail, do not touch these. That's it. We're the Soul Brothers. Catch you in the next one later.
Peace.